We start the 5-star pen off with this big alert sheep out of a good breeding blizzard ewe, and he's in with a powerful sheep that's out of Fat Sam's mother. She's a really productive old ewe that's still with us, going to the tup for her sixth crop. So the first tup's got a fair bit of flash to him, but he's got a bit of bang as well. That he's got a very high index, really big performance figures. His head's always up, and he's got a fair bit of power behind it too. The other sheep there is quite strong front ended, but he's got a really powerful back end as well to go with it. A set of twins here out of a ewe that usually breeds something big. They're both big, long, bare, and this 46 sheep certainly is very wide hipped. The 5-star ones are all quite light boned, and they just have a kind of fleet look about them, probably. And they're very good coated sheep as well. And I would say he's bred quite a lot of stretch. They don't look particularly fatty types, but when his lambs were scanned, he's come up with a very high fat figure. The 48 sheep here, he's got a bright head, he's got a long neck carriage, he's a long body, and it leads to a wide, well-filled hip, and I think that just gives him a really nice balance. 49's big and bold and rangy and quite bare coated. I think he's very neat fronted for such a big sheep. These two are both out of old V-Day daughters that have stood the test of time. 49's mother looked like she'll go back to the top again this year. 48 particularly, I think, is a really true made sheep, and just a nice type. This is something special here. This is a set of twins out of an old ewe who was out of an old ewe. And two generations were spanning 16 years and going back to some of the great sheep we've used in the past. I really regret not using one of these as a lamb last time. Their mother's a really good maternal, motherly ewe, and she's just a good lasting type. They've a good stance, this pair. They're good in their pins. They're a nice type. They're a good hair, silky hair, nice skins. It would be a waste not to keep you lambs off these two. I think they're a cracking pair. Three coming together here, all out of Captain ewes, and you'll see that jigget and thickness that comes with that Captain coming through here. This 52's had a bit of wool rot. 53's coming in. He's the bright-headed sheep with a great big bum. 54's a brighter headed one with a bit more lift about his front end, and quite an active sheep. So there's the sort of bigger, powerful one closest to us, 52, with the wool rot is really wide throughout that sheep, and a bit more power about him. 54 in the middle there now is the very high fat figured sheep. And 53 they got left behind, not just so big, but he's really powerfully made, and he's probably an easier doing type than some of the 5-stars. 55's an attractive looking sheep, wide behind, and a nice sort of balance. 56, a wee hard lump in his jaw from, I think, what must have been a swollen tooth at one point, but he's fine with it. He's a long wide top sheep, quite shapy. And 57's come out with a bit of a bigger head, wider head, and a wee bit wider in the front than some of them, but he's got a really tight skin, a nice coat to him, and is plenty of that width carried on through behind him too. So that's three all out of V-Day ewes, quite attractively displayed sheep, and with a nice sort of length to them too.